Making donuts. In a bowl, put your warm water and your yeast. Give it a quick stir. You're going to cover that and let it activate. Take your milk, pop it in your microwave. You might want to watch it so that it doesn't boil over, but you do want to get it real hot. It's the microwave version of scalding. It took about 1 minute and 15 seconds. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a little skin on the top, and that's what you want. We're going to let that cool. And just so you can see what I'm talking about, see that skin? That's good. That means it's been scalded. Then we're going to take our butter and pop it right into our milk. And the reason that you're letting your milk cool down is that if you pour that into your yeast, it'll kill your yeast. And then your recipe won't work. So let it cool. This is looking awesome. Lots of bubbles, super fluffy. So we're going to add in our sugar, our egg, and our salt. We're going to mix that together really well. So it's going to look like this. So then we're going to gradually pour this in while stirring, so that way it slowly heats up the yeast without making it too warm. And incorporate this completely into the other without killing the yeast. And then we're going to add in our first bit of flour. I'll give you the exact measurements in the comments as well as at the very end. So mix it like this. Perfect. So finally we're going to add in our last bit of flour and we're going to fold it in. This is going to be a really loose, wet dough, and that's okay. That's just going to give us a nice, light, fluffy donut. You can see in real time, this is how long that takes to come together. You can see it comes together. It is definitely a dough, but it is very, very wet and loose, and that's a good thing. Make sure you scrape your bottom of your bowl to get everything mixed in. Beautiful. This is perfect. It's exactly what you want it to be. We're going to cover this guy up and we're going to let it rise until doubled. Usually takes anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour. I'm covering it with cling wrap, which I will use again later to help proof, but there we go. Covered. Let's let it rise. While that's rising, we're going to quickly make our glaze. In a bowl, add your powdered sugar, add your melted butter, your milk, and your vanilla. About that much. You're just going to mix this until smooth, and then it'll look like this when it's all come together. Set that guy aside, and our dough's ready. So this is how much it has risen, which looks perfect. I'm going to put out some parchment paper, like this. I'm going to lightly flour this guy here. Well, it's actually not too light. It's actually kind of heavy. We're going to take our nice loose dough and we're going to basically scrape it and get it to go onto our floured surface. Scrape out anything that decides to stick in there just so you're not losing any, but we're doing the best we can. Beautiful, like this. So from here, I'm literally just going to turn it and turn it again so that you get a little bit on here. And other than that, I'm not going to knead it or anything to keep all of those little bubbles in it. And we're just going to roll it out so that it is not super thick. I'm thinking 1/2 inch, maybe 1/4 inch thick. That's about all you need. Then we have our donut cutter and you just simply push it down. And I've heard that if you twist it, it actually seals the sides. So you just kind of want to go down and straight back up. And then there's your little donut hole like this. And I'm going to place them onto just a lightly floured pan like so that they can proof. And you can see these are not super thick, but they will puff up nicely when we fry them. Then when you have your scraps left like this, you're just going to gather it all together gently. I just kind of squish it with my hands to get it to really stick to each other. And you can see it kind of smooths out on the top like this. And again, grab a little of the flour because the bottom is still quite powdered. And then you just put this over top, roll it again, and cut them out again. I got 2 right there. Do that again, squish it together. It's like forbidden Play-Doh. Roll it. Another one, and then I'm just gonna make donut holes out of the excess so we have more donut holes because those are always fun. Those will work out just fine. So this is how many that we've got. We're going to use our plastic wrap that we saved from previous, and we're going to put it over top of this and let these proof for about 20 minutes. While that's proofing, we're going to warm our oil in a nice big pot. You're going to pour in about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of oil. Turn your heat to about medium. This is your best friend. You're going to hook that onto the side, make sure it's into your oil, and we want to get it up to 350 degrees. I'll usually have my oil right here, and right beside it I'll have a pan with a cooling rack, so that way when they're fried I can move them to here and then any excess oil will drip off. Now also with the glaze, I normally use an evaporated milk. I didn't feel like opening a whole can for 3 tablespoons, but the evaporated milk gives it a better flavor. This will be okay for today, but normally if you want the best flavor, use evaporated milk instead of regular. So while this is heating up, this is the perfect time to tell you, managing your oil is probably the hardest part about this. It's really not difficult. You just need to keep an eye to make sure it stays around 350. If it gets too hot, you simply take this and shift it off of your heat to let it cool down, and then put it back once it goes down to a point where you know that you can heat it back up to the 350. So it does take a little bit of management. It's not that big of a deal, but you can do it. Also, to be safe, I will tell you this right now, do not put water in here when you're done with it. Do not put water in your oil, do not put water in your oil, do not put water in your oil. It will bubble up, overflow, and you will burn yourself. Don't do it. When you're done with it, move it off the heat, let it cool down, pour it in a container that you can throw away, and then you're done. Okay, my oil is at 350, my donuts are proofed, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna very carefully take your donut and you're gonna gently place it into the oil. We're gonna do 3 at a time. And we'll do 1 more. And we're gonna watch them, okay? And what you're gonna use is a wooden spoon to move them around as needed. And we're gonna keep an eye on this to make sure it stays at 350. Again, I went from medium to low to kind of keep the heat going on it, but to not necessarily keep it heating, which is good. And once you put these in, these also bring the heat of your oil down a little bit, so you might need to manage your heat a little bit just from your dial. So once you notice that they start looking nice and golden on the other side, you're able to just flip it like this to be able to do the other side. And I can see my heat is starting to actually go over what I want it to be, so I'm just going to slide it off of my heat, so that way it'll still keep cooking, but it won't keep heating it up higher than I need it to be. There, it's gone back to 350, so I'm just going to slide it right back onto here to be able to just keep that consistent heat going. Alright, so these look about ready. What you can do is just put it right in like this, and then move it over onto your cooling rack, so that way any excess oil will drip off. And then we're going to put our next ones on. That's already at the 350, so we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. All right, we'll let those ones cook. And again, when you look closely, you'll see that these are ready to turn. Come on, silly thing, let's turn. There we go. Those look nice. They're looking good. Let's take them out. Go. And the third one. Perfect. And we're ready to put our last 3 in. This one is a little thicker. 1, 2. These ones are my thick ones, so we'll see how they go. It's 3. They're looking nice and gold. We're going to flip them. Oh, come on. Yeah, these are probably going to be the best ones, always the last ones. And these guys are done as well, so let's take them off. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. So finally we're getting to our donut holes, and you can just put all of them in and they will cook no problem. Yeah, if you wanted, you could make these into full-size donuts, but donut holes are always just so fun. Awesome. Okay, let's let those cook. And with these, you just have to tap them and they flip over usually, like that. They're looking great. Take them out. I use tongs. So from here, you just take it, dip it, flip, and there you go. This is what they're going to look like when they are done, and I dipped all of these. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like when it's done, and the inside. It's like this, perfectly cooked, ready to go. But perfectly cooked the whole way through. This is the thicker one, and I wanted to show you that the thicker one would cook the whole way through. I'm going to give you your recipe. I'll put it here. Beautiful. Screenshot it, and your glaze will be there too. Okay. And I'll put it in the comments too. But there you go, guys. Okay, love you. Bye.